I know it's been a while since I've sent anything out. I almost feel a little awkward doing it again. It's almost like starting over where you're feeling a little bit of, I don't know, nervousness and who wants to listen to me and all that, all that good stuff. Um, but as you know, I started a new podcast some time ago. It's called Sound Banking with Kyle Reese out of Montana. And I'm reiterating what I said in the last one, but that I started that because I really wanted to focus on um, whole life and how it can be used. But there are so many other things that I am interested in that I think are pertinent to full circle of life, so to speak, and wealth and capital building and all of that good stuff with the insurance and all that is a big piece of it, but it's not all of it. And for me, I'm very interested in things like health. When I speak of health, I'm speaking about my physical health and my mental health, my spiritual health, maybe. But mostly, I guess I want to talk about physical and mental. And I'm very interested in longevity. Uh, One of my clients, Todd, thank you very much. He introduced me to a gentleman that I'll put in the show notes. Uh, that he's all about longevity, and there's lots of places you can go to find information about it. I've got a bunch of books I've read about it, and my genes are pretty good too. So maybe with a little luck. And why do I want to live long? As long as I possibly can. I think because as time goes on, I realize that it's taken, well, for me, maybe not for you, uh, but it's taken me a fair amount of time to feel like I have something really to offer, that I can share things that I find and that I discover, or things that are shared with me. So, health is really important, wealth building is really important. Um, in our spirituality, which is another thing I want to talk about. But today I wanted to talk about health and just a few things that I want to point out. And in later episodes, I'm going to get into them deeper. But for now, I want to introduce you to a thing that I came across via a very good friend of mine, Michael McKay, who I want to have on here so that he can go in more depth uh, for his understanding. He is going to get certified with this idea around grounding. This is what it's called. You can call it grounding, you can call it earthing. A gentleman by the name of Clint Olber has brought this to the forefront. He pursued it. He has been pursuing it for the last 25 years after a very close call with his own life, in the sense that he got sick. Um, and he made his way back, and he just decided that he wanted to change his life, and what is it that I'm going to do? And he went searching. So he ended up thinking on his past experience or work life, and um, he came to this thought about grounding, because he started off as a cable guy when cable first came out, and every house that they ran cable to had to be grounded. And so later on in life, that came to his mind, wondering, I wonder if people should be grounded. And actually, there's lots of us that love to walk around outside in the summertime with our bare feet. And that's grounding. And what you're doing, besides walking around barefoot, is that electrons, negative electrons, fill the earth, right? That when you're stepping on it, they're coming up into your body. And we evolved in this manner, right? We walked everywhere barefoot. Then we got into having leather soles and leather boots and all that, which is also conductive. So I want to just say, why would you want to ground? Why is it such a big deal? Well, uh, most of us understand that one of the biggest obstacles to keeping our health is keeping inflammation, not inflation. We're not talking about economics or wealth building. Um, Inflammation in our body. And when I say in our body, I mean in our entire body, head to toe. So even in our brain, inflammation occurs. And grounding immediately starts reversing that. As soon as you step on the ground outside here, it happens. Well, you know, I'm just finishing up with the winter here, and so we weren't walking around outside. So what do? And the answer to that is uh, plugging into a grounded outlet and running a mat that you can purchase. It's called earthing.com. Clint Ober started this company, and for very reasonable costs. I mean, I think this stuff could be 2 or 3 times more money if he wanted to, but it isn't about the money because long ago he made lots of money, very wealthy man, and I don't think that that's what it's motivating him at all. I think he just wants to help people feel better and take care of a lot of problems that people have. So this is a very simple thing you can do. You can get a mat that you can lay under your sheets on your bed, and so you're sleeping grounded. Then I have a mat at my office desk, and I put my bare feet on it. And in the wintertime, I have socks that are grounding socks that have something in it that helps um, that mat ground me. And so uh, that's one of the items. And we will go into this further in other episodes. But just now, I just wanted to talk about it. And I'm going to put a link in the show notes that you can go to. And you should be able to get a 20% discount going through that link. If you just go to earthing.com yourself, you won't get that. I will tell you, though, right now, what is today, April 12th, 2024, they're running a 58% sale on certain things, and they have these kits. So normally, I think it's a queen size bed, plus the mat on the floor, plus a whole bunch of other stuff would normally have been $300 or $400, and you can get it for like 170 or something like that for a queen size one. And the prices change per the size of the bed. I would highly encourage you to try it. Most people, when I say most people, I'm referring to like 95 to 98% of the people that use these things have a benefit from them. There's a small portion of people that say that they don't have any reaction to it, but 95% of the people, 98% do, um, and very positive. One thing that I noticed right away was I was sleeping through the night. That might not seem like a big deal if you don't have problems with that. As you get older, you tend to get up in the middle of the night. And there's some other things you can do to help that too, but I slept right through the night, the first night. Now, I will say that uh, now it's been about 4 or 5 months that I've had it, and I get up a couple of times a night sometimes, but not. I didn't last night. I didn't get up at all until I got up this morning. Um, so that's one thing. Uh, and the next thing is red light therapy. You can buy these panels. They're I don't know, about this big. And uh, it's a company that produces a pulsating red light that has, because when it pulsates, it's actually 10 to 15% more effective. This also helps with inflammation. So I do that 5 days a week. It's good to give yourself, your body cells, a couple of days off because it does put a little stress on your body when you're doing it. And when I say stress, it's a good stress. Um, and so I do that. I've been doing that for probably 2 months now, and I can tell you, as crazy as it might sound, one of the things that they write about in the book, red light therapy, and I'll have that in the show notes as well, um, is that you will begin to lose some weight, and then probably it's just fat being dissolved. And I've noticed that I'm clipping my belt snugger and snugger. And of course, I work out and I go to, went for a 4 mile, 5 mile walk yesterday. Um, so that might have something to do with it too. But I've been doing that all along. And what I've noticed just recently in the last few weeks is that my belt is getting tighter. I'm tightening it differently than I used to. So there's earthing and red light therapy, and I would encourage you to look into it. And I'll have a book link. I'll have the company link where you can look at the products. With grounding, the link that you have, you should be able to get that 20% discount. If you don't, reach out to me and let me know, and I'll get it figured out. But it should be that when you go to that website, you'll be on mine. The affiliate, and so I get you get a 20% discount, and I get what you might consider a commission. But what I'm doing with the commission is I am donating it back to earthing research.com or earthing.com/research. I'm donating the money, all the money, back to the research arm of the company because they continue to do it. And because I want to just get the word out. With red light therapy, there's no affiliate. I can't get any discount. I don't have any affiliate with them. I don't think they offer that. So there's no discount for that. Again, I'm just talking about the product because I can see that it's having a good effect. And I'm like I said, I work out. So between working out 3 days a week and walking 3 days a week, my recovery rates have sped up, which is very interesting. The other thing that I do for my health is I supplement it with vitamins. I've done this for, what would that be? I got to do the math. 68 minus 22 is 46. So I've been taking Shackley for 46 years. And I can definitely tell the difference when I see people that have been on, like I'm on calls with people that have been doing Shackley as long or longer than that. And they're in their 80s and 90s, and they're like unbelievably energetic, which is wonderful. Now, I know that there's lots of different companies that have created wonderful products, but I know that Shackley is a highly ethical company. They only produce the very best products. They might not produce, how do I want to say this? They might not produce the best in every area, but overall, consistently, they have produced excellent, top-notch products. And if you go to Shackley, I'll have the website on the show notes. You can see all the scientists, some of the Nobel Prize winner for telomere studies, and telomeres are the little tails at the end of our DNA, and over the course of our lives, those tend to go shorter, shorter, shorter. They say when the telomere, so are we. Oh.
Okay, I found this on the web for they say when they telomere gone, so are we. Check it out.
That's Siri talking. When telomeres shorten up on our DNA, we're gone. And there's a woman that's on the board for Shackley. She won, I believe, a Nobel Prize for telomere studies, research. And she's on their board. They have a product called Vivix, which is a longevity product. And it's patented and all that good stuff. So those are just three areas that I'll mention, and obviously eating well and exercising is extremely important, especially and as we get older, it becomes even more important to stay in shape, because if you let it go, it's much harder to get back. Um, yeah, I can recall when I was young in my 20s, working out, just thinking, wow, this feels great. I'm going to feel like this for the rest of my life. And that's definitely not true. So, like I started out saying, I want to talk about health and wealth and spirituality. And I just want to say that all of these topics, I just thought of this afternoon, that these are all topics that are have a long view. Building wealth takes time. Keeping your health is a lifelong journey, and your spirituality is also a lifelong journey. So I am going to be talking about them in more depth than I am here, but I just wanted to at least get a message out because I felt that I think it's been a month. So if there's anything you'd like to talk about, anything you want to share, if you have things that you think are good for health, if you have things that are good for wealth and spirituality, please let me know. Reach out to me. I'd love to hear your discoveries on things. And what do I want to say? I just wrote some notes down. Obviously, I haven't really been following that closely. I mentioned that you want to hang on to this feeling of energy and longevity, and as long as we can. And we know what it feels like to feel it in our youth, and we can keep it for a long time if we do the right things. It's all little steps, and you might not see the differences for a little while if you haven't been working out. Just like in the insurance business, you won't see the beauty of those policies until you're living with them for a while, and then they explode to this beautiful pool of capital that you can deploy to do other things. But I'm getting a little off track here. I wanted to just talk about a quick little thing regarding the insurance. It's a little off track, but it was something that I got pretty excited about this past couple of weeks. When I came to the realization after talking to the insurance companies, it's somewhat difficult to learn stuff unless you're talking to people that really know, and even people that seem to really know don't necessarily know. I've come to find out. But I've talked to the insurance companies this week. Three carriers. I called three carriers that I use, and what it is when you take a loan. So I'll consider this a bonus, aside from the health and wealth. When you take a loan inside of a life insurance policy with a dividend, paying life insurance policy, a mutual insurance company, and when you take a loan, It's just like taking a loan from anybody else. But when you pay it back, you sent, let's just say you took $10,000 and you decided you were going to send back $500 a month until you get it all paid off, which would be what, 20 payments, like roughly, right? Um, so when you send that $500 back, all of it goes to principal. Now think about that. It all goes to principal, where most of our loans, our car loans, our home loans, certainly our credit card loans. Right? If you don't pay it all off every month, it's pretty scary. But um, you send it back, it all goes to principal. It lowers the principal, and then that next month, that goes by, you have lowered the principal, and the interest that's accruing daily. I'll give you that. Just like a regular mortgage or just like a regular car payment. But you've lowered the principal, and now the interest is on that lower principal. You know how when you send money for a car, or certainly our homes, you send a payment, and a certain portion goes to the principal, and in a car, some goes to interest. So it's slower payback because you're paying off the interest. And so when it all goes to the principal and you're lowering it, you're going to pay it off faster. If, there's one caveat, if you pay the interest on your annualized anniversary, they're going to send you a note and say, this is how much interest accrued. But because you've been sending payments back, it's been getting lower. In other words, if it was 5%, you're not necessarily at the end paying 5% because you have lowered the principal. That was a major discovery. So I'll talk more about that another time. I just